Should you go no contact with your narcissistic parent? It's a big question. And a lot of us will ask ourselves, should we do this? It's kind of a big deal when you think about it. For some people, it's an easy answer, but it's not an easy answer for most of us. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about no contact, what it entails, and more importantly, what you need to know when you do go no contact. This is very important. There are so many things to factor in. And in this video, I'm going to describe what some of those things are. I'm Dr. Meg Haworth. I'm a transpersonal psychologist, holistic nutritional chef, and best-selling author of Get Well Now, Healing Yourself with Food and the Power of the Mind. And I help wounded ACONs, adult children of narcissists, to become healed icons. An icon is somebody who's independent, confident, original, and naturally you. And I do this in my Iconic Me coaching program, which is now one-on-one, but in 2026, it will be a group coaching program. It's going to get bigger and better and more exciting because it's going to be an entire academy that's going to help you heal on all levels, holistically, mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically, and spiritually. As a spiritual psychotherapist, I have found that engaging that part of the self, understanding what the human energy system is, how it plays out in our world and in our bodies and in our lives, is the key to healing. And I want to help you find that key so you can open the door, so you can receive the healing that I also did. So let's get going on no contact. No contact with a narcissistic parent is actually a big thing to consider. And many of us consider that as we deal with our narcissistic parents and we deal with this ongoing abuse. It's been going on for years and years. And one of the things you want to consider with no contact is that when you go no contact with that narcissistic parent, that means no contact with the whole family. And in some cases, this is going to be the most important thing that you'll do for yourself. But it may mean that you're going to have to cut off relationships with people in the family that you really love and admire, and you're going to miss those people. And so that's a big reason why a lot of people don't go no contact. For instance, the other parent is somebody that they really love and adore and they have a good connection with. And even though there's issues there with, not being protected by them with the narcissistic parent, the dynamics are pretty complex in these family systems. But if you know that this isn't an option for you, there's other things that you can do. Now, when people ask me about going no contact in my practice, I will always say that's 100% up to you, and we can talk it out. We can talk it through. We can talk about what that would entail for you and what that will mean for your future and what that will mean for your now. A lot of people, when they do choose to go no contact, will feel a significant amount of relief up front, but then there's a lot of grief that you're going to have to go through. The grieving process is multi-layered because you're going to have to go through the grief, and every single person who's been through this is going to have to go through the grief of never having a parent who will emotionally connect with you, who will see you, hear you, understand you, really be there for you on an emotional level, that will nurture you and bring you out. That's not what a narcissistic parent does. A truly narcissistic parent is going to criticize you, shame you, belittle you. They're incredibly insecure people, and they are incredibly controlling people. And it's that insecurity and the controlling, along with the shame that drives that disorder, is something that gets projected on you over and over and over again. And all that shame makes you believe that you're a bad person. So there's just so many layers to dealing with a narcissistic parent. And whether they have the full-blown disorder is another thing to consider in going no contact. If they're malignant narcissists, if they're Machiavellian, because they're part of the dark tetrad as well, or dark triad, it's called either one. That means that they're scheming and manipulating and conniving and cruel and sadistic, because they'll also have sadistic personality disorder issues along with the Machiavellian tendencies, which is very calculated, very cruel kind of people. So, that's serious and that's very, very difficult. Something really important to consider when you're going no contact with your narcissistic parent is that you are going to need therapy either way. You may have a tremendous amount of relief once you do go no contact and you just decide, like, I'm not going to spend any more time with these people because I'm so hurt and abused and I need to heal those wounds. You really do need to heal those wounds, whether you are you feel that relief and you're just like, oh my gosh, I feel free for the first time in my life. That freedom isn't going to last very long. And here's why. The programming. The narcissistic parent has programmed you from day one with so many beliefs, has conned you. ACONs have been conned into believing so many things about themselves that just aren't true. And these beliefs are things like, I never get it right. I'm not good enough. I don't matter. That's a really deep, dark one. I am unlovable. So you're walking through the world with these beliefs installed in you. And that makes things so much more difficult for you when you try to establish relationships. So what a lot of people do, they go no contact, but then they also don't build relationships with other people because they don't trust anybody. And this is so important for you to gain self-trust so that you can also learn to trust your own intuitive inner voice so that you can also trust, what other people in your life, because building relationships, having community is so important to the whole healing process. No matter what. I mean, that's like studies have shown over and over and over again that connection, emotional support, and all of those things are very, very important to have a thriving life, to have a healthy body, to have a healthy life. So what a lot of people do is they go into what I call the isolation tank, and they isolate themselves even further. And that was part of the programming too, was to isolate yourself, to stay in that prison of silence. I always call it the prison of silence, where you're not supposed to share what's happening in your home. You're not supposed to share what you're thinking, what you're feeling. There are so many ways that narcissistic parents silence their children, and you will grow up in this prison of silence. And so you may not be speaking up for yourself. You may not know how to set boundaries. You may not know what to say. So something I want to mention right now, I think might be important for you at this juncture is to head over to my website at meghaworth.com and get a free gift I have for you. It's called 52 Ways to Tell If Your Parent is a Narcissist. It's a checklist. And it can really help you kind of understand. It's not about diagnosing your narcissistic parent, but it's helping you to understand, are these attributes things that my parent actually possesses? Because this is very important to get to. Your parent may not actually have the disorder. They may be highly narcissistic. They may be difficult to talk to. They may not have the skills because they're emotionally immature. So really think hard. If you're not really sure if your parent has the disorder, think hard about whether or not you're going to cut them off. I would recommend first approaching them with, hey, can we have therapy together? Let's go to therapy because we can't seem to see eye to eye. And if we don't go to therapy, I'm going to need to stop coming to see you. Now, you may be going like, oh my God, no, I could never say that to my narcissistic parent. And that's a clue. It's an indicator. But sometimes we will cut people off that genuinely love us and that want to be there for us and that want to talk through things and that will want to work through things. But we don't know, because in narcissistic family systems, we don't have these conversations. It's something that is drilled into you. We don't talk through things. We don't work through things. These are the unwritten rules, the untalked about rules in narcissistic family systems. And they can really keep you from being able to make a sound decision for yourself. And what a lot of people do is they'll go low contact. They may move really far away and they may come back for holidays. And if you check out my holiday video, you can learn about things that you can do on the holidays and learn about how you can deal with your family system. And which is one of the things that I really highly do recommend, is at least trying to work on yourself first, getting yourself more into this independent, confident, original, naturally you person that you were always meant to be. And then when you go back and visit that narcissistic family system, because, hey, you love your niece, or, your other parent is somebody really special and you don't want to break that tie and that contact. So you're going to have to deal with the discomfort. You're going to have to deal with the pain and deal with the issues that come up in your own body, mind, and soul in those particular arenas, like when you're with your narcissistic parent. So getting therapy is going to be essential for that. And you may ask to get therapy with somebody in your family system who may be unconsciously treating you a certain way and they have no idea, but they may be open to hearing about what's happening for you and the kind of help that you need. So there's so many things to consider. This is a case by case basis. Everybody's case is a little bit different. Everybody deals with the narcissistic abuse differently, but there's some things about narcissistic abuse that are always the same. There will be belittling, there will be shaming, guilting, dismissal. You'll just be dismissed like you don't matter. You will feel unseen, unheard, and not understood by a narcissistic parent. There will be a lack of empathy or low empathy and no empathy, especially for people in the family system, unless they're doing exactly what the narcissistic parent wants them to do in that particular moment. Again, it's a complex issue. So you may really want to get therapy. And I can tell you the thing that helped me the most was doing holistic psychotherapeutic practices and somatic therapy. It's why I became a somatic psychotherapist and also a spiritual psychologist. So I look at the entire system: mental, emotional, physical, energetic, and spiritual. And my whole person integration technique helps you get to how you're holding those energies in your body. It helps you to release those energy dynamics and those energy drains that are coming from your narcissistic parent, because that's the only way they know how to get control, is by taking energy from the people around them. And you can learn how to no longer give that up to them. But it is a process. And a lot of this process it's a very important process to take. One of the problems that comes up when you go no contact and you've grown up in a narcissistic family system is that programming that I talked about, that I'm not good enough, I never get it right, the belittling, the shaming, criticizing, all of that stuff. You tend to push that in on yourself. You turn it in on yourself when you leave their home. So even once you're gone, that narcissistic parent is in your head because they programmed you to believe all these things about yourself that aren't true. And so now you're turning that in on yourself, and you're really, really hard on yourself. Your standards are impossibly high because you were trained to think that that's the way things should go, but you're never going to get it right because you're always setting yourself up to fail. If this sounds like you, if you feel like I'm the person who I'm a late bloomer, I came late to the party on everything, I have a failure to launch issue, I can't seem to get things right. I'm afraid to be visible. I'm afraid to be out there. I'm afraid to really do what I came here to do or what I feel like I would like to do, because I just think I'm a bad person and I'm terrible at it. So again, this is something you're going to need to get help for and help with, so that after you do leave your narcissistic family system, if you do decide to go no contact, you need to work on yourself to get to a place where you are sovereign in yourself. You are an individual. You have individuated from your family system, and you are solidly you, and you are in a space of really loving and caring and respecting yourself, giving yourself exactly what the narcissistic parent was never able to give you. So if you haven't already done so, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. There are just hundreds of videos on here now for you. So please go listen to what I have to say and all the different ways that I have to help you, because there's a lot of videos in here where I have exercises that can help you heal. I want to help as much as I possibly can. I know not everybody can afford my services, so I do this free YouTube channel. And then I also do my online summit every year, the Toxic Parent Recovery Summit, recovering holistically from the wounds of parental narcissistic abuse. And so that's another thing that you can really look into and look at. And that's available on my website for purchase as well. So there's tons of ways that you can get help. But the very best way is always going to be one-on-one help to help you move through the programming, help you to release the programs, those thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, and the way that you're holding them in your body and in your energy system, so that you can feel that freedom you've always been looking for. You've always been looking for freedom and didn't know how to get it. And going no contact is not always the best way to get to that freedom. It may be one step towards your freedom, but it's one step. And you learning to care for yourself more deeply and more dearly, and to open up to relationships, because there's a lot of good people in this world, a lot of good people in this world. And it's really important to have connection, have support, have that love that you've always wanted. You give it to yourself first, and you literally will attract people that are able to give it to you as well. It's really amazing how those universal laws work. So I hope this information has been really helpful for you. If you are considering going no contact, you can always book a call with me, a free consultation, and you can talk to me about, what might be right for you in terms of getting help. That even if I can't help you, I have a huge list of people and referral sources that I can send you out to help you heal from the wounds of parental narcissistic abuse, and from the wounds that are incurred when you do decide to go no contact, if that's what you decide to do. Be careful about that decision. Don't make it lightly. I don't think any of us do. It's not easy to leave when you are trauma bonded to a narcissistic parent. It's not easy to leave at all. And if you have other narcissists in your life or in your family system, it can be really complicated. So I hope this has helped you. I hope that you do receive the help that you need. Again, please like this video, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Dr. Meg Haworth, and I hope this information will help you get well now.